against a really tough opponent.
Okay, we got G2 on defense, we got MIBR on attack, and we got a raid boss for Aspas. 1-1 for the first map on pistols, and MIBR one map ahead.
Loaded with rookies, and this is two of the top 3 teams in the league, and they are laying into each other. Haymakers in their previous map. MIBR on the attack side here, so do expect a burst of pace here as they really like to get active on the map.
Pew, thank you so much, dude. Thank you.
To play here.
Stiltron gets a lot of info. They're going to have to trigger this. Sheeran, as a matter of fact, it's Aspas just caught alone.
Okay, now some of that.
Stunned up too.
Yeah, but no follow-up on the util because Courage was already vacated by Leaf. He didn't have to hang around there.
Whoa.
This is messy stuff though. Jorgamo's going to have to take a fight out on the side. It's Aspas.
Okay, raid boss is down, and you've got 2-person hold of sight.
The spike drop loose, but Shenum chimes in there with the classic. It's Artazine.
That is the kill right there.
And it's up to the young gun himself. Second
Now
year in the league.
Sharp from Jonah to collect onto the flanker through Garage.
Okay, gets ahead of this. He knows it's coming. Flash turn.
Oh my
so
god,
close.
that was so close. 10
Jonah
HP.
P outlasts him and gives G2 that defensive pistol.
Brought down to 10 by Artzin. So close in that 1 versus 2, but Jonah really stepped up that heads up play to just keep the crosshair trained over on Garage. Immediate tap to get them into that 2 versus 1 initially. Off of what was a pretty cool execute from MIBR, making the most of the utility that you do have in that pistol round. Guided salvos, forcing players out of their standard default crossfires back sight, able to swing through, but G2 traded out very well.
Overkill with the prime. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for doing that.
We're going to see a lot of this util in the early rounds, and when it comes to those executes.
With the plant, 2 people invest in sheriffs, so we'll see how much damage they can do. You can see everyone from G2 buys up.
Once again, MIBR probably looking to probe here towards Garage.
They kind of allowed 1 death with Leaf.
Aspas to that effect.
Smarties as well with the 16 months. Thank you for the prime also, bro. Appreciate that.
Ezio was passively sat there, now headed towards mid.
Looks again like MIBR.
They didn't plant. Wait, they didn't plant in the round before? I thought they planted.
Favoring using that 1 tripwire that he's got. It's going to be a crucial aspect of the G2 defense is that they don't have a lot of passive info gain. They need to be proactive at taking space, finding out where MIBR are playing, controlling a lobby, and they have the utility pieces to do it.
Yeah, they don't have a cipher. Just
Roxanne with the tier 1 as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, back over towards. Whoa. Back over towards an empty site. This time they get the plant. That's the round I was talking about. And let's see how much damage they can do, if any.
That initial kill, group up, retake Garage, go for the full 5-on-5 or 5-on-4 at the retake. It is effortless from them.
Better weapons, take no undue risks. We saw a couple of really important thrifties in that previous map that dictated the flow of the latter rounds. Now Shenum eventually getting brought down.
He really got so owned by a flash there. I mean, they lost the Stinger. It's not bad at all for G2. It's going to be a really good bonus. What's on Verno? Yeah, he's definitely vibing with his team. There's a couple of costly mistakes in the last game, but he's doing a lot of good.
Very clean though, all things considered here from G2.
That was yours, Jonah. I'm sorry, Jonah.
Kill stealing? Crazy. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty close to the dimensional drift though. Jonah can't be too mad.
Yeah, 3 away.
Professor must have done the science, or the math.
Did the math.
Okay.
Did that complicated math, yeah.
Outlaw.
Okay, pings here over towards
Everyone can tank the damage.
G2 slowed up here. We're hoping to get
We've got salvos. It does stop the initial push on short.
Maybe make a bit of a defensive pop here.
I wonder how many the drones saw, because there is 3 on short right now. Oh, the tunnel vision's crazy. Okay, while that's happening, they spot low numbers over towards A. Instant reaction. Can they get through the wall together? 1, 2, 3. Sure, the main 2 made it. He gives him a little cage there, though. Was perfect. Oh no, really risky.
Verno, this smoke's going to come down and it's about to get extremely awkward.
Yeah, it does get out of there, gets the salvos as well, so as soon as the smoke goes, you can just salvo it.
And that Teho util going to be thrown out. They're going to try and scale into Link, potentially, or just stall things out a little bit further. It's Arvin going down, Leaf coming in from the C side of the map. Valen's going to go big here, and he does. 3 with the Spectre. This is the bonus round. Remember that. Valen and Leaf here still need to find a way to get this defuse happening, and Shenom will step up. Gets to half. Here's the swing.
Ah,
Shenom
really
down,
nice
and Valen
Valen.
takes
What a
4 out
run
of a
this
bonus.
was.
G2 are laughing all the way to the bank.
A pretty opportune time for your IGL to
Cool
go
little
through
play,
here,
though.
while MIBR played that post
1 here,
well. I
3
like that
here,
setup,
heavy
having
bait
Inferno
on
and the
short.
dark covers that were cycling in link,
Just trying
and
to
then
A-punish
as he
really early on at the
realizes
beginning.
The second one was about to drop. No one from G2 is pushed in. They didn't have a flash to get in there. He retreats, and then they immediately fault line with the salvos
Good
and
flash.
swing together. But
Sell
Valen
out with the
collects
prime. Thank you for
all
the
of
6
the
mums,
kills
dude. Thank you for that.
with that SMG, close range, distance closed. Well done.
MIBR has a chance. I mean, for sure, they're map up.
Force for MIBR.
What is the last map
They're
percent?
still chomping at the bit here to try
I
and
think we've
unseat
seen either of
G2
these
and
teams
put a
on
lid
this
this
end.
economy.
Yeah, they can afford to get this little half buy in and still have a full buy for the next on account of just the round loss bonus accruing from 3-0 at the moment.
G2 played it last week.
All of Leaf's util
Wait, what did they play? Was that the map they were playing the Waylay or not?
Be here as well. Leaf is good for that first one, isn't he? Aspas is very low. Leaf opts for a re-swing, but Aspas will punish him for his hubris.
It was the Waylay? Oh, okay.
Okay, Jorgama's going to be caught
Yeah,
by
then
this,
honestly,
and hooked
MIBR
attack
have
in
a
the
pretty
corner,
good
couldn't get
chance.
there, and Shenom takes a swing timing off that special delivery. Train has one of his own though. Slows up MIBR, and here's going to be Valen. Spike out in the open. Shenom a long way away from it now. Can only hope to smoke it and gets brought out.
We really see the efficiency there. That
Right,
setup.
big buy
Leaf
rounds.
is able
Do
to cause
they
that delay with the vines on the
do they
ground,
pause
the wall,
before this or not?
And then the teleport over from Jaw when he's in trouble, needs a teammate to
That by Waylay, it turned out it did actually look good when
So many
G2 used it.
G2 rounds, I just keep going back to the word effortless, but
It
they
was
make
one of the only
look
ones
like
in the
that
good
because
list.
They are such a well-rounded, fundamentally sound team. It's what has kept them consistently at the top. Like even when we go back to last year, they couldn't get that elusive trophy in 2024, but they were always at that S-tier rank in Americas. They never slipped from that. They're maintaining that and pushing above where they were then with the addition of
Terminal
Jaw.
over towards
The
spawn.
floor for this team just feels so high.
Denim sticks it.
Okay.
Finds out the one's behind him, can smoke himself off as well, can get over towards the site. What can Leaf do? Nothing. 8 HP. Dude, look at these jaws. 8 HP, 15 HP. They gotta be gutted.
8 HP or 9 HP rather.
Siege, thank you so much. Gifting. Dude, who changed their Twitch name to Sliggy's Chair? This meta's gone crazy.
Trent can't play off of it.
Nice
He
shot.
just doesn't have the timing, Wyatt. Aspas is too clean with it. Jorgamo trying to play up the clone here. Cortesia athlete flash, but Verno release is going to be good for the trade. Here's Jonah. Why me,
Yeah.
he asks.
Damage is
In the
really
previous
important for
round.
Jonah.
We might be asking that again. A successful C split off the Omen TP here for MIBR. Looks to be getting them onto the board.
Really, a lot of this game, with how neck and neck it's been, have just come down
The
to
real
little
star of the show.
individual duels lost on the side of G2. Aspas collecting that kill.
Okay,
in
MIBR,
the
4 people
garage fight. He's
survive. I
caught
thought
on
Jonah was going to
default.
go for it a
Also
little bit
Shen
more,
getting
maybe
a
because
kill out
Trent's
of the
money is
teleport.
low and they
Even
need a
we get
drop.
back to Pearl, a couple of those whiffed shots
They have
resulted in
ults, but I
MIBR
can't remember what
getting
they are
critical
anymore.
round of
Breach
wins.
ult and something?
Coming down to the
Breach
small
ult, Cypher,
things with two
or
teams of this high caliber.
Breach
Some
ult,
discussion there happening. We've got
Cypher,
frozen
Jet,
timers, so you know what that means, folks.
Vice.
A brief interlude
And
here and a chance
Yoro.
to discuss maybe what we sort of saw. Now, you cannot manufacture that kind of round consistently. Genom obviously making use of that ultimate to get into the backline. This moment, I mean, I swear, it's literally the same thing
Tanuki,
happened to him on
hello,
the
mate.
A side in the prior round with the stick
Morning.
goes to 5 health and still finds the kill, even though it's the drop that gets gotten on him.
I have to say, it's been a strange day so far for Leaf. If you want to really examine him individually, he has been both the catalyst of some snappy, sick 3Ks, outright winning rounds for G2 at times, but also has had a couple really bad whiffs. And no, it's a very basic part of the game to look at, but they've come in critical moments. Like, that's one where you expect him 99% of the time to just get that free kill, even things up, go back into the 4-on-4. Back on Pearl, there was that really pretty bad whiff spray down
The B
on
side one.
Artzin in a 2v2,
Yeah.
which resulted in an eco round win. Again, it's just these little moments that are really adding up.
There's an audio issue down on stage there, something that Jorgamo is, looks like he's pretty satisfied.
looks
He's
good.
resolved.
Gave me the head nod, should
Yep.
be good to go. Nope, gave the ref the head nod, should be good to go.
Okay, ref's walking away. Love to see that as well. Moments from jumping back in. Remember, it's a 3-round lead here for G2. They win the pistol and they have a pretty insane bonus round that they're able to convert on pretty comfortably.
please. Release me from the tech pause dungeon. Return to the... Okay. Ospas has returned to sentience.
He's rebooted himself.
Back in the game.
Back online. And yeah, so G2 obviously getting away
The first
with
game,
a lot early on. It's a nice
it
round
was-
for MIBR. It's can they
was a little bit
manufacture that
one-sided.
consistently without an Omen TP into the back line to set up a C split? That's the question. 06. I was 15. Sorry. So stupid. And honestly, looking excellent. A great last map. He is second to top frag on the table on Pearl. Incredible showing from him.
Franto, thank you so much,
Great
dude. Thank you with the
adjustment.
tier 1.
This is some speed from MIBR. They do have a rolling thunder to
Yeah, they got a lot of
try
ults. Looks like MIBR want to keep this nice and simple. Drone over towards site, breach or over towards site, and Aspas. Oh, does he get out of there?
Yeah, that crossover was completely obscured by the updraft dash. Jaw not ready to take
Got
that
the
second
info on the
engagement
Yoru
on
and got a left
Takes
click over
full
towards
advantage
site.
of
I
that
imagine it was nice.
situation, connecting an
Got
easy
the
headshot
trip as
onto
well
him.
for the after plant. This might be two convincing rounds from MIBR.
Surely not trying to retake on this map.
Because of the breach ult, they managed to save the Omen flash, so as soon as there's util for the retake, they're just going to Omen flash back.
You slowly see them start to pull back. Valen is still in heaven.
And you know that you're just staring in the face of that wave of initiator utility that's just going to hit you when you're trying to get out of the choke point. Or even
This is going to
worse,
be
when time
lovely
is
though.
dwindled and you're forced to
MIBR will
stick
take
the
this.
spike.
Fold line.
Their money's already
spectacle
good,
delivery, it's all
but to
there.
get an extra
There's a
round
disadvantage,
with 5 people
they
surviving,
feel
that's
the need to
awesome.
retreat, and you certainly cannot blame them.
3k for everyone. They had 4 people run before. 5 now.
Ultimates here.
The big money diff at the moment.
Okay. Tough for G2. They get absolutely overwhelmed by their burst of pace for MIBR, and that's how they like to play it. 4 young players plus Aspas, they like to ride the lightning. Beautifully done, and they are in the game well and truly now, folks. And that money for G2 is looking extremely questionable.
See if they try to pull by into this right now. It's just that moment where Jaw wants to go for this shot, but what a difficult one to hit.
And again, we see how good that Storm util is for G2, and they
No,
actually
again?
have the ability to play from behind it, but at that level of speed, MIBR mostly get ahead of it. They mostly strike a mortal blow before Leaf can get anything set up.
I've been shackled and dragged back into the tech boss dungeon, Mitch. Release me, please. Get me back into the game, no.
We simply follow in the footsteps of Panpock, all right? You will take your medicine, Wyatt, and you will like it. So MIBR
Even
now
the
putting 2
casters
rounds
are
together.
calling
Talk about
Pansy
icing
out.
the kicker, though. Plenty of time for them to consider how they go about clambering further back into this game. Now, G2 obviously, prior to that round, they have a 3-gun save, right?
CS
were in a
before?
position where they've got
Yeah, we
they
did a good
can,
amount. We
you know,
played
try and
CS,
retake on
coached
towards
a
that A
small
side. It's just not
amount,
gonna happen
but
for them. So
main stuff was just
they have
the
3
observing.
rifles, 4 in fact, so far, and that dimensional drift here. Is there going to be any space to make use of that? That's a great question. It's obviously a great option for defenders in the mid-round to get an idea of where the attackers are going, but MIBR so decisive. They don't dilly-dally in that mid-round. They don't sort of dither back and forth across the map. They're pretty set on their intended ending destination. So where are the edges to come from? Can G2 maybe make use of this Steel Garden for a retake if they get in onto that A side? But earlier, we spoke with the MIBR's Cortesia about the team's game plan in 2025. And it's
Why
not
are
just
they
Aspas go kill.
watering his PC?
Yeah, for me and for the
Wait,
my
didn't they just
team,
fix
the
it?
strategy is only play your game. We don't think a lot about the other team. We know we are good, maybe better than, and we need to show in the server is the only thing. We are doing really good presses this month with Verno, so we only need to put that game inside the server.
I mean, that aside from Cortesia, fantastic English for a young bloke as well. I mean, and this was talked about a little bit, that one of the reasons that Verno's able to slot into this team is that a lot of MIBR can communicate in English. We heard Artisan, earlier on, of course, on that split game, saying how good he was at the game, but clear English. Aspas, we know, of course, is able to do that. So what a dream for Verno to slot into this, theoretically Portuguese-speaking roster and just have that infrastructure already in place with a coach as well that speaks perfect English. We know.
Women vs Astra. Yeah, I mean,
1 point.
you lose like the C holds potential really.
Legend of the olden days.
And again, it's been very, very good to see MIBR.
It's a little bit
it's
harder.
just hard to do, right? I mean, I want to use Sentinels as
But
an
yeah,
example.
it's one of the better
Also
Omen
brought
Flash
in,
maps.
Like I guess a wave of that younger talent into their team, right? I would say that Bang and Narrate qualify in that regard. And, you know, trying to find a way
Gian,
to
thank
integrate
you
them,
for the
to the
bits.
same
Do
level
you
as,
like
you know,
bacon,
the
egg, and
performance that they were able to do
cheeses?
with, like, Sassy
I mean,
and
yeah.
Tens, who are really cool, calm,
Why do I feel like
very
this is a
stable
trick?
individuals. It's not easy to replicate that success when you have this infusion of young players. But Aspas, he handpicked that initial MIBR roster.
Do you remember when hyping up the Astra? I mean, the Astra's still good at the moment. It's just the fact that with everything that's meta, I don't think you need
I
it.
really didn't expect Verno to get a spot on the team straight away, honestly. It just didn't seem like there were going to be any openings. Not a condemnation on his skill, but it's just the fact that everyone seemed to be set in what they had for kickoff. So it's crazy that he got an opportunity at all. Just
Look
on
at
the
Bacon.
back
Bacon's
of that
scared
information,
that
but
his
the
waylay
fact that
take
he's
is
on
wrong, so now he's
MIBR
trying
all
to dig
teams.
out stuff
I
from the
respect
past.
the risk taken, though.
Absolutely.
You know, and Fraud spoke a lot about.
Bacon
we were
doubled
talking
down on the
about
waylay. He's looked at
what
the stats
you
and
would
he's like,
assume
uh-oh.
would have been communication issues.
Everyone's
just
going to think
not
I'm more of
having
a
reared
fraud
their
than
head,
they're
a lot
ready
of
for.
communication in English,
I gotta
and
attack
it
this
is still
guy.
funny that he dropped the
What do we got?
no high school Spanish line, and that's close enough to Portuguese.
That's the
all
best he
good.
can come up with.
It's kind of funny, but hey, if it works, it works. He said that he can understand
Too
the
far
simple.
down,
He
dude.
can understand the simple call-outs that are being made. So all good, man.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Now, it is still a audio issue that's being ironed out down on the stage for those that are wondering. We should be jumping into the game momentarily. Also, you know, Verno got his jersey here for game 2. That's got to represent a power-up, you know, for him. And this is Aspas. I mean, he's been doing this for quite a few years now, man. Just reclining, just soaking it in. Feels like a part of the furniture in this particular room here.
Tripling down,
lot
stop
of
Bacon
time
doubling down.
Applying his trade
Sometimes you
within
gotta-
these 4 walls.
Got to set the bar somewhere.
And on the other side, it is another previous world champion trying to topple him after G2 give away an exciting pearl. It's a 14-12 map, goes to overtime. We feel like we get to see flashes of the very best that these two are to offer, flashes of a potential future at Americas for both these rosters, and the future, man, it looks bright. Just like that stage light right in Aspas's face.
It's tough to get good rest
Exactly.
when you've got that
He's not got
straight in your retinas.
where the blue light filter's at. Forgot them, didn't he?
Aspas really has been the exact same guy for years, which is
Yeah,
kinda
he
wild.
does.
just
He does
started
this
that way.
relaxing.
He was never not chill.
Yep.
He's just
He
always
is a
Like
rock
Moses.
the chillest man.
that someone has placed 2 plushies upon, and he has remained that way ever since. Yeah, I mean, and look, isn't that, I think if you want a franchise player, you want a star player, that's what you ask for, right? Someone who's consistent, who in that sense is like kind of predictable, stable. It's a consistent high output from him. God, over the years,
Surely
like
we're ready
Aspas
to go.
has maintained this level that has been so ridiculously solid, even, you know, absurdly flashy at times. And games where he goes off the boil are so rare. I mean, he actually did that in MIBR's last
Poor
match. but guess
casters,
what?
man. It's
The
been
quality
filling for
around
like,
him is
what, 10
enough
minutes?
Such that they still find success without him going nuts.
Oh, he's
We
setting
know,
up.
of course,
It's
Aspas
time.
is one of our league's most talented players, and I'm not surprised to report that he also has talents we didn't know about. So check this out.
Oh,
Oi, é o Aspas da MIBR e hoje eu vou mostrar pra vocês uma coisa muito legal. E a gente vai fazer o show Intel. Um vídeo de quando eu tava na Loud apareceu de eu pulando numa caixa na academia bem alta, então eu queria ver o quão alto eu consigo pular. A gente mediu o tanto que eu consigo alcançar parado e deu 92 inches, 2 metros e 34 centímetros.
Now you know you want it. Hey, it's about that time to take control and lose your mind. Yeah, what you waiting for? And so much more. Hey, it's about that time to take control and lose your mind. Yeah, what you waiting for? What you waiting for?
Aspas not even holding back right now.
Come on, man. It's about that time to take control.
114. Muito obrigado por acompanhar o meu show Intel. Me deixa saber se você consegue pular mais alto e eu vejo vocês nas próximas.
I mean, I'd say he signed this guy up for the NBA Combine, but he's busy dunking on people here in VCT Americas, and I'd rather like to keep him. Why?
Yeah, he could have. He could definitely recreate.
that was random. Ah, it's just
we're
we're way too TikTok pilled, man.
Finals. He's got a future. He's got a future at ball, bro.
I'm seeing the timer countdown, which is always a good sign. Did we hear a Barla? Was there a Barla
Yeah, I heard
sound bite there?
Baller's voice as well. That almost brought a tear to my eye. I'm not gonna lie.
Big shout out to boy
I missed
Arden.
that, man.
Hope you're doing well, mate. Here we go. Jumping into round number 7 with MIBR on this attack side.
Let me know if you can
Again, a
jump
crash
higher.
Oliver
Okay.
or B Link rather, so Joel can help out at A.
Lot
Should
of
be
money.
required.
That's what just happened. A lot of money.
Now, if you
And
remember years ago, when
1,
we saw
2,
round 6, MIBR, they went for that
3,
very
2,
fast
9.
push
Go
down
on.
a long fighting into
We'll
that
just say
site
2. 2 people that
immediately
can't
with
buy.
the Rolling Thunder.
Was Verno even born then?
That's a great question. We'll get the professor, the mathematician, to look into that one.
Thanks, Jonah. All right, here. Straight up courtyard. MIBR ambling over towards this B side, or at least
Jogamo.
Artisan and Aspas are. Jogamo sees a shoulder. Aspas gets in straight into the
Oh,
cloud.
30 HP got out of there. Killing got out of there. Trent's going for it. Oh boy.
What the hell, man? What the hell?
Okay. It's okay. Trent down to the shorty now. Fault line comes in as MIBR have tried to push through. Get this jet in position, but Aspas will be corralled. Caught, taken down, and
Oh, Valen.
strikes
Dude,
into
every
action.
time he just
Cortezia
keeps
does not
multi-kills.
hit him. Zenom TPs over towards the seaside.
Oh
This is
my god,
definitely
the shots in
improvised
this
now.
round.
MIBR have had to cobble something
The
together,
shots in
and
this
George
round
says,
were actually
"Stones."
mad.
Jaw does everything for G2.
Started
in
off
that
a little
round.
bit rough and then just got better and better.
For MIBR, he was doing the most. Some say too much. Some say being a little extra. I mean, after he gets the drop down shorty, he was trying to push through Link, and MIBR trying to pivot into this crazy split with everyone else going through Garage. Some madness, but I respect the idea. Ultimately, it's the dimensional drift that Jaw rips in the midst of that to give all of that proactive info to the team. He really steps up to win that round out.
And that was the question, like, where was Jorg supposed to find room to make use of that? It's a great example.
It's the
of
hydrated
giving a fast
BC.
play from his opponents, getting good info and being able to be snappy and
and they kept
reactive
it,
off of it.
well,
Now we're looking over towards the seaside, at least initially.
so they kept
here.
it kind of clean, but there was a couple of
Aspas,
deaths,
course,
so
can dash
3
into a
people
cloud
that
burst.
can't
This
buy
is gonna get
next
Valen
if they lose
moving
this.
pretty quickly, and Jorg's
Really,
pushed out.
oh, that's a
Okay,
great
it's a
flash though, but
recall.
double.
That's gone horribly wrong.
Oh
A
my
re-clear attempt down a garage.
goodness.
Cortezia knocks him down.
And in the
I was going to say the
meantime,
flash
MIBR know
is
it's
nice,
time to
but one
really
turned it and the
scale
other was
into the
anti-flash.
seaside, Get that plant down, and in the meantime, still doubled up. Cortezia
I'm
wants
pretty
to
sure
go
the
forward.
guy that
Shannon
got
with
the
him,
kills
two
was the person
MIBR
that
rookies.
turned the flash.
Jonah's got to commit here to see
No
Cortezia.
way! How fast
was
is this
cycling.
guy?
Deals with Jonah. Now we have Leaf and Valen back to back here in Link. Really nowhere to go at this point. They're just trying to get out with these weapons. Cortezia and Jenum still grouped up here. Cortezia, what a menace this round he has been. He's ready to tear report
Yeah,
to
they
an
got
end.
double
Forward line nipping at the heels of Alan as he tries to pull
double
off that
armor
B
off
site.
of them.
Should be able to get out here. A couple guns saved. He might be able to go exploring, but there's likely nothing to see.
They just desperately want to take these guns away because despite the fact that they're down by 3
It's a
currently, their economy is actually better
incredibly
than
impressive
G2,
round.
so means a lot for them if they could have taken them out of their hands. Ultimately, they can't. They'll be more than happy with the round win, however. Just doing a really nice job there.
So this is the Jorg effect here, like this little bit of like, let's take an aggressive
Oh
pop here,
my.
let's find a timing.
That's
Yeah, and they tried to do that actually at the beginning of the round too. Straight off barrier drop. Trent sends
Beautiful,
the
to be
Salvos
honest.
deep mid at that doorway choke point, so Jaw could swing then. Then they try to take the timing again. Flash to connect.
that's
Shut
so
down
hard to
these.
do, bro. He made that look so
Cortezia having
easy.
one of those beautiful
Even the
moments where
third
he hits
kills
nothing but
on its own is
headshots.
impressive.
What he does sometimes up to 70% of the time in
Yes.
recorded matches, which is
absurd.
a little outrageous.
Genuine headshot machine, great round from him. He's going to get nestled up against
Okay,
the
they
garage
spot a
doors.
Yoru,
He's
so
got
obviously can TP
Jonah
away.
White's on the other side. And another push here from G2. Now, of course, the weaponry is a bit dodgy, so trying to make use of these sheriffs. Valen, of course, at the 4. Still
Yeah,
with
this
a
is the
rifle
hero
in
gun.
hand. Look at Tuck
They can
here,
take this
low
down.
window.
Oh, this is going to get weird.
Feels like a one and done.
If they can take this down, it's hard for them to get it.
They are slowly pivoting
They
over
broke the
towards
camera from
Emerald.
Garage, and
But
then
to
they
have the
push
Defender
through
be
bottom
really
middle.
entrenched around those razor vines that he's got, and they want Cortezia to be that, oh my god, late backstab, but he might try to get proactive earlier, seeing that jump spot.
Okay, Valen's
Wait,
got
di-
himself in the mid window here. He's that. Okay.
Okay.
Steel guard and Cortezia.
There's a trip behind.
Finds the better of Jonah
And
V,
they're,
just
oh
great
boy, they're
patience
going
over that
back.
round.
Give me the
Valen's
Valen
gonna hear this,
POV.
Has to hear this. They don't know he's there. Is they gonna? Oh, buddy! Valen needs more.
Man,
I can't believe I'm
he, had to,
saying it, but
he
does.
honestly had to get
3 is
another.
all he's gonna be able to
Like,
find
he
from there.
did
It's
so
up to
much,
Trent,
but he
who
actually
is,
had to get another.
well,
It's
basically a different
devastating.
postcode at this stage, Wyatt.
Trent
I'd say he needs more,
has.
definitely
Oh, I
illustrates
guess,
the
but
desperation in
Trent will
that
be able to pick
moment.
up a gun.
He does all that he can. All the while, it was Cortesia getting space towards C, finding that kill. Well, Jonah was trying to get out of garage. 1v1 versus Jaw. Now it's 2 versus 1. They just need to trade this out.
Oh, lovely damage.
Buddy.
Oh, that got incredibly close.
Verno sends Trent packing out of the round there, and it's just a horrible start again that G2 can't recover from.
It's just one of those rifles that was saved over that. Valen almost.
God, what a spot he gets himself
Miracle
into.
happen with. This is so sick. What a time to take.
They're not ready.
Listen,
At all.
not the craziest transfer, but even able to get that third headshot onto Ospas is so
Jeez, Verno
clean.
bailed him out there, Wyatt. No two ways about it. Could have been a 4K from that position. They are so unprepared for Valen to be nestled there. But now a one-round game. Back to rifles though for G2.
Back to rifles, max by both sides with an Armageddon ready to go as well. G2's economy really in shambles while MIBR are swimming in infinite cash at the moment. It's going to be an uphill battle on these last few rounds. G2 will not be able to put them on an eco at all.
Well, this is going to be very illuminating. Stealth drone going to be cleared off here, and Artazine
only
wants to
2
push
bucks
on the
on
side. Good
sight
damage
hold.
already done here to Trent. He's down to 3.
Oh,
Fortnite
whoa,
catches him out.
whoa,
Armageddon
whoa,
to clear the corner. There's no one quite.
Verno.
Okay.
Everyone
Verno
bailed.
just runs
Maybe that
straight
one was in
into that aftershock.
Portuguese because Verno
Trying to peek, it's a
absolutely
big one,
sent
and
it
then
as the rest of the team got out of there.
What a correction. Now it's
And
MIBR
that's
who
a
have
clean
a
up.
horrible start to the round that looks like they too struggle to recover. Aspas can trade, but Jonah's ready. Sick round from him.
Absolutely, this has been so good so far, unless Cortesia can be the man of the hour for MIBR. He's got 2 weak players that he'd be able to dispatch.
This is pretty
with ease
doable.
if he gets into a duel, unless there's an insta headshot from either Trent or Jaw when they meet. He's got the
30
spike,
seconds left.
minimal amount of time. C-site is free though.
He's going to have some breathing room. Cyber Cage, of course, as well.
How does
And
he
Alex
try to
Replan.
play this? Yeah. Does he try to get into garage? Does he try to fight forward towards the cage? He's got options at the moment.
Jorg and Trent have 8 health
Both
between
low
the two of them. They
HPs.
are so flimsy, so fragile at this time. And they're looking to test this. Trying to timing, the spacing's not quite there. You've got to go for it now, Trent. I think you might have him. No, he opts not to take the timing. Cortesia sees him,
Holy.
takes him down. That's 3 for young Carlton Banks, and Jonah P is the only one that stands in his way. Bide his time. Cold hard killer is Cortesia. Jonah gives it a tap here, and Cortesia is lingering forward. It's Jonah P.
He gave it a really good try on this.
And the professor sees all realities. And this one he wins in.
Important feels like an understatement given the status of G2's economy. MIBR surging back into the half up until that point. Even prior in the round had some really significant utility. Then pivoting over towards that B site, supporting Leaf, who is fighting in front of the wall. Ultimates expended, but for really good value. The Armageddon that caught Verno as well when they shut down that A execute prior from MIBR.
Yeah, want a couple more into
Really
this half, it looks
comprehensively,
like.
G2 making all of the right decisions there outside of when things get scrappy in the 3v1 with the HP that
But
low.
That was such
It's
an
tough. It's
interesting,
tough regardless.
such an interesting moment was Jorg and Trent up against Cortesia because they're both like 3 and 5 health respectively, right? Cortesia gets the first kill.
This version of the lost round, I mean, do so much damage that
take that timing before the ping comes in to swing.
that if you win this, it's kind of worth 2.
Because he's bloody Teo, that's all he
I
does.
say it's
He's a
worth 2, but
dispenser.
G2 are so good with
And so he
stingers.
doesn't have the opportunity to take advantage of that time. And Cortesia realizes he's there because of neural theft, takes the kill and turns it into a 1v1. There's so many moving parts in these Teo bridge comps, White. You can get caught with, you know, your hands on a grenade as opposed to your gun.
Absolutely. That is one of the
Have a little look at the money.
times
1,
that you will
2,
see
3,
teams
4.
falter when you're running this
And Trent
contest.
has to take
It's
the
just-
hit.
there's so
Also,
many
lovely
moving
ult from
parts.
Trent
You'll
into
have
that round.
moments where you're caught with util, you're caught
Yeah,
out of
1-9
position,
loss
the timing
bonus
doesn't
here.
get synced up because someone was trying to make
MIBR
something
can
happen.
buy if they lose
There's
this.
pieces of util.
But yeah, you would imagine if
There's
MIBR
a
can
lot
get this, it
going
would
on.
be
Sometimes when you're
6-6.
watching, it feels
Unless we
kinda
see a
simple
Stinger
because everything's
Madness.
just exploding at once.
Aspas
There's
gets
a
the
lot of
Outlaw
moving
out.
parts
2
where you're
people that can
actually
get one
trying to
shot.
execute it all perfectly. All right, MIBR,
The
they've
Teo
got another
ult
full buy here.
for
Aspas has even actually gone into the outlaw. We'll have 2
Burnos.
soft
Sorry,
targets
for
that just
Jonah
have the
P's
regen
breach ult.
armor for G2.
We're off to A-Long here. This time, an extra commitment for G2. Jonah P's going to be here with a fault line to play off of. Oh, buddy! Artazine trying to head for the
Big
heels.
punish.
But it's his heels instead that get nipped. Spike
Because
recovered,
they still got that music in the background.
No breach
there
utility
we go.
work with. It's up to Verno here to have this initiation.
That's
I
a
won't
really
let him
cool
know.
trap play set up out of the timeout. MIBR, they have been putting emphasis on trying to fight towards a long. So let's play it even heavier. It's what G2 are thinking. Let's have more util. Let's set up to really take the fight to them. Love that decision. And now whatever plans.
Yeah, found the wall over towards B. Bit of pressure over towards Garage. And that's
Shannom's got to try and make something happen there, but I
that's
don't know if he
a really
expects all the
important
King's
duel.
horses to be looking at him. And MIBR again. They have an early round that results in them going down 2 players. They almost salvaged previously. But to do it again, Lightning does not strike twice here. Okay, Valen wins that out. It's just awkward for Katesia in general. Aspas gets clear at least of the Rolling Thunder now. Still hopes to put this Outlaw to work in some way. And Verno eventually wins. Sewers, where the Rats live, and Verno is able to capitalize. Aspas now, surgical precision would be the attempt. The scalpel is snapped.
yeah.
And it's Verno. Take down Valen, but G2, of course, still with 3 rifles to work with, and they know Verno just has no options here. You can take all the high school Spanish you want. It's not going to get you out of this round.
There's no time.
So many
The shots
Spanish
look
takes,
pretty
what the hell?
sick, at least from the point of views of those who are going down to the young phenom. But ultimately, G2, they start that off out of the timeout from MIBR, yet going for this aggro trap play over at a long that I really like from there. Things get out of hand as MIBR individuals feel that they need to be the one that will recover the situation. The shutdown going for those aggro plays by G2's defense.
And that's the kind of trap play we see a lot from Crew, for example, right? That
Hey, big
defensive
change up for
play
G2 on this last
down
round.
A-long. They do it a lot
Don't
more
want
than
to
G2, but
don't want to go up
spicing
against the
things up, mix it
ults.
in
Want
here
to
and
make
there
the
works
play
perfectly.
themselves.
Great
Looks like a
fault
double
timing.
push down middle.
And now we're looking at a G2 might exit the defense side with 8 rounds.
Speaking of aggro, they want to fight down mid straight
Oh,
away.
does he
Draw
check
his
left?
dimensional drift across and get out, and he punishes Aspas straight away.
It's just a weird angle. Like, what? You're not checking that if you're Aspas. You don't have time, and you don't expect someone to be there already.
Okay, this is the dynamic G2 that has gotten Jaw in the mix, going for looks like that.
I mean, the
Last
Omen
2
ult
rounds
does
of the
clear
half,
sight.
2 completely
So they lose
different
1 for the
set
sight.
initial plays at barrier drop.
Gogamo still
Neither
has
of which
clone,
MIBR were
flash,
expecting,
breach
both
damage.
times dropping a
See what
player.
Verno,
Still winnable for them
what
in the
ult
4
does
versus
Verno want to
5
do?
with the Armageddon, and crucial
This.
Artsin 1 kill away from getting the Rolling Thunder.
This, if they exec.
Armageddon here for Verno. It could punish a retake attempt from backseat. We'll see when he wants to go for it. I'm in the corner. There's no
Dude, he needs to
follow
go for
up
his
there.
ult fast
Just a little
because
bit too
Leaf
fast here. No
is.
one can get through the cage to help, and Verno picks Leaf up on the flank.
Yeah, not
It's all
even
come
now. They just win the
crashing
round,
down
right?
here
'Cause
for
he's got too
G2.
much. Oh my god.
He
I
has
was
to
gonna say he's got too
pick
much
the salvage around, and
util for the actual spike
That's
itself.
a stinker.
Here, a
5?
moment where it looks like the fundamentals of G2 getting scrambled Jaw ahead of the rest of
Because
them.
the spacing's not there.
Had no one to trade for him backside. They didn't swarm in together onto that one solo player. From there, Verno collecting an easy kill on the flank into the Armageddon. Yeah, it's that
Okay,
moment.
it's just a straight solo play.
Struggles from G2 after 2 fantastic round openings to close out the half. MIBR will be grateful to win that in the 4 versus 5. Back on map 1, there was only 1 round where one of these teams got the win after losing a player first. So rare that that's happening in a
5,
game
not
where
that
both teams
good.
are
I mean,
so consistent.
Yeah, the
it's
45
okay
conversion
considering they
crucial
lost
here.
pistol.
2 rounds in this
They're probably
game.
gonna need a
G2 have selected
pistol.
this map and they look
They lost
strong to
pistol,
start,
they're
but
4-0
MIBR
down.
fought back. We're headed to a break.
Like, you'll take it.
And when we return, we'll see the conclusion of
For
Hey,
sure, contacts. Winnable? I think they gotta get pistol. That one's safe to say. Mute this before we get owned. When did Varno switch shots? Did after the first map. Oh boy, do I even wanna give Bacon the time with this one? Let's go for it. Bacon asks, how does a cat like their steak cooked? I'm not sure, Bacon. You tell me. How does a cat like their steak cooked? Medium raw. That's awful. That's awful, bro. Sprite the Legends. It made me laugh though, so I'll give you that. Sprite the Legends with the tier 1. It was so bad that honestly, I kind of liked it. Thank you for the 20 mums. How to ban mods? That's a great question. I think I'm just sleep deprived. That must be the only reason I found that funny.
For MIBR on G2's choice of Haven. It's honestly at times a pretty grindy half. G2 throw in some key variations like a trap.
Wait, did Royal just make the joke Meowdium Raw? Is that too much? That's too much. Maze, thank you so much. Maze with the Prime, appreciate that. Dude, did I miss a sub to say the awful joke? Sprite the Legends. Yes, I did. Thank you so much for the 20 mums. Thank you, thank you.
A reminder of disaster at Bangkok, losing the
Okay,
finals
here we go, here we
6-1.
go.
On
Pistol
the
rounds
path
at the
to
moment are
try
at a
to right
2-1,
those
1-0 on
wrongs,
this
have a
map,
successful stage one,
and
qualify for another international
late
event, get
push
that
down
elusive
middle, but
trophy
G2
one day
are
at a time,
kind of
one
have the
match
deadly
at a
crossfire.
time. MIBR, they
They
want
do
to
get out of there.
begin to write in the history books of their own with this young upstart roster that Aspas has put together.
And after the run, the MIBR had
3-person push for Cortezia. Do they expect someone inside it here? No, they don't. Aspas is probably...
On the side though, go
Ooh,
G2.
I
They've
was
just
going to say he's
made
probably
their way
down,
up
but
C-long here
they
with
know about their
very
luck now.
contact until now. Bit of a gap in that smoke that Cortezia is trying to exploit.
Cortezia's got to do so much here.
G2
Who's this in the smoke as well? Artsin.
I love how fast
Oh my god, Artsin gets in the smoke and right-clicks the guy in default. Salvos go in for both of the players. Oh, that was nice. Dude, G2 love like chilling and then just waiting. Ooh, just waiting for the salvos. They're very calm with it. Every time they get into these weird situations, they just wait for the salvos and they come out on top.
Unlikely that Aspas would take the risk to swing there, but my god, if he did, that would have been free. That would have been round done.
Valen on side itself. Leaf playing here from Garage, so obviously you can't put a crossfire together here. Verno might make a four.
Oh, he has regen shield.
The timing might not
He's
be there. He
raid
might need to help
bossed.
backside, and I think he realizes that
Shots arrive for both players. Verno trying to meet up with Aspas now.
time short, but Valen gets taken down, and here comes the tap.
And is planted for them.
Leave! Oh, they might line up for him. That's another headshot. 3 for the round. And Aspas has got a
Oh,
defuse.
got a half.
Wins it out.
And that's it
It
done.
was already got to
1-1
half, like you
every
mentioned,
single
so
map
Aspas
so
can
far.
finish the
It's
job.
really
MIBR
doable now for
are gonna
MIBR with
even
this one.
game up.
God, that was close. The regen shield saved them, right? What was his HP?
Working against him, so concerned about someone trying to wrap
was
through
11,
the
right?
barrage,
I
but it
think.
was the double up from MIBR.
You right click. Oh wait, dude. This way now.
That's tough when you're just sitting on default and you get randomly killed through the dark cover. But
I'm 11 HP, the regen shield.
That's the game.
after that moment, G2, they waited for that cycle on the salvos, had a nice re-hit, but
yeah, that's nuts. In the pistol, all 75 of the regen. I don't think we've ever seen that.
I mean, who a couple years ago, I remember as just being, you know,
I think history was just made.
Loud, that looked incredible. He was around the experienced players.
So much has changed. It's the Ninja Turtles meme, I think. All right, we are on the site.
The stinger buy for G2 is always one of the most deadly things ever.
After a really disappointing pistol, they get this plant, they mow down the MIBR players on site.
As fast as the last round ended, they come into this one with stingers forcing in.
There's no time for Aspas to get any value on this outlaw at all. It's been basically neutralized, and now he's got to, what, retake 1v3 with it? He's going to have a crack. And there's a little bit of a razor vine snarling him up. The liquid metal filaments here just gumming up the works. And he's going to have to walk away.
The sound.
Walk away with the outlaw.
Thank you, that's a note.
Sad, slow save.
Devastating round for MIBR. There goes that good start.
With some ferocity, just gunning it down along with the stingers. Did not expect that. That's the kind of move you make when you lose the pistol, you're already down by a lot, and we just got to throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. We don't want to let them get to OT or get way too close to OT. This game is neck and neck, and they take that bold risk. I respect it.
I love to see that. So many other teams would just let bygones be bygones and take an L in that anti-eco round. Here's how fast they hit the site. Jonah P sets him up, and they're just going to push this smoke, right?
With the stun, though. With the stun and Astra set.
Control. This teleport in as well from Jaw after the util comes through that wave. And even at that, it's so comprehensive that the players coming out of spawn, there's a, not a nebula, Gravwell rather, on the floor in front of the nebula. when they're getting into the site. It's just too much to wade through. Great execute from G2.
That's past the raid boss in this round. Full armor and Outlaw to work with. Something that likely G2 are aware of.
Very aware given the status of their armor. That is
That's true.
full on all 5 players, so none of them susceptible to that one singular shot. The MIBR Jet, G2 at that, they're not even playing anywhere close to him right now. They're just re-clearing towards A, using that very effective reconnaissance tool to stealth
Making
them,
sure
get
they
so
don't get
much
ecoed on
distance.
this.
And now they can just walk forward, knowing they have that space for free.
And they might get to walk up onto this A side here. There's going to be limited to no resistance. They break camp there as they had stacked up, waiting for some sort of exploration.
Okay, now it's going to be a question of,
and it should be pretty straightforward stuff.
can MIBR, well,
In we go.
it'll be interesting to see if these want to try go for it, or if they just go, let's not give them ults.
Artine and Verno have that util though to get them in. What can MIBR find in a
Because they
round
should
where
want to try and go down to
they
the
may as well
spike here,
go for
really.
it?
Yeah, this is I hope we can do some damage type situation, which would be really valuable. I mean, the G2 players, obviously the economy not too strong yet. Cortezia on this flank, can he catch the timing?
I just don't see it. Leaf is, well, yeah, he's just looking at the wall.
And Trent is trying to jiggle for him, play off that contact. Actually, he's playing off a Leaf's contact now.
This is basically the Louvre. They have it on lockdown. Cortezia there, heard footsteps as he alights.
Okay,
Could
looks
be
like
full line
everyone,
played off here.
everyone else can go
Balance
down.
presence here in heaven. Yep. And there's your obligatory pick up there with the guided salvo. Shannon here having strips
Oh no, Leaf's like, man, one away from his ult.
Again, it's a bit awkward, right? He saves us
Would have
out,
loved
but
it. Could have made this round a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's very
Who's the better ascent? We haven't seen MIBR's ascent,
everyone on G2
so
will just be buying into the heavy armor. Most of their players retaining it.
might work out well for MIBR having the demo.
Rest of the team around him will be buying up rifles.
And Tejo, yeah, I mean, we've
Yeah,
talked about this so much.
it's almost as if it needs a
Ubiquitous
nerf.
across all regions in stage 1, and has kind of taken the game to such a util heavy point with the combos with Breach here. The Yoru looks definitely, you know, it heralds a unique time, I think, in competitive Valorant.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a kickoff that the teams that weren't running it were at a disadvantage, like MIBR. Now, everyone pivoting into it. G2 here, they're taking fast garage control.
Okay, Jorg's going to see Cortezia, but headshot machine strikes again.
Yeah, just intuitive, knows the timing, knows he has a good opportunity.
He really
to
is the
swing,
headshot
go for the
machine.
Fight, capitalizes. Cortezia playing with some confidence right now that you love to see.
And they need it. MIBR need it. They won the pistol, and straight after that, things fall apart in the Inter Eco. This is how they get back to business, and again, you've kept the Outlaw against a team who is buying up full armor. Like, you've got to hit them heads. It's a big ask.
Had a fair opportunity, about the best he could get, but it only results in
Okay,
Jonah
instant
going down
group
to 10
up.
HP
4 stars still.
as we go.
Let's see, it
back.
has
We're thinking
1
4 versus 4,
kill
G2
trip.
having intentions of hitting this C site,
And I
allowing
can't
them
see
to
any of his
try and
cages
work
down.
Garage where Cortezia has been just ruling.
Is he in a great position to play off this trip? Not particularly. Info, I think, is all he's going to get from that. Here comes Asper Smokes. Now Cortezia's caught. He's stuck here, but he's going to win the fight out.
Oh, so it's
Jorg
another
comes down,
headshot.
another headshot for the young lad.
30 seconds left.
The 3 remaining
Damn, of
G2
course that's a
players.
headshot as well. You got
Pardon?
an ult to make this one nice and easy.
Easy?
20
Okay.
seconds. G2 have to get on this. Verna doesn't have the cell move right now. They run into the trip and the neural that. Guys, you're cooked.
This guy is unbelievable. Jonah P. Valen here. Going to be revealed on the side now, of course. As Stealth Drone comes in, Valen finally deals with the Cortezia.
Okay, very, very
Valentine
nice.
through the smoke will complete the round.
And aside from just winning, he'll be content getting the double
So,
and the diffuse. That's
Valen,
about to give him the
I like that they
rolling thunder
min-maxed in the
into
middle of this.
next round,
Um,
allowing MIBR
Valen
an
Leaf ult.
opportunity to
So
string
you got
together
Leaf.
a couple
I
gun
mean, they
rounds,
pretty much
maybe
combo well
stabilize their
together.
economy as G2's has already
You
been
would imagine for
quite
sure they have a
solid.
set
Should
strat.
be
Good
explosive,
idea
decent
for
amount
these
of
two.
ultimates on the field here.
So there's conditioning at work here. If you're G2, you are not feeling all that excited about trying to challenge the garage position on this map. Cortezia has been such a nuisance. Nice! Finding sick timings, dealing with Jorgamo. Constantly top of the scoreboard here for MIBR, 14-13. It's been a slug of a game, but he's been a shining point for MIBR.
We really knew based on his off-season performance.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
To see him continue to progress as a player, reach that potential that you know he has.
Yeah. And then looks like they're going to try to keep this one simple. They're just going to ult with Vice ult, maybe?
Upgraded to the operator, but probably won't have a chance to fire it off. Dimensional Drift should put him.
Look at the
right
handlers.
off
They're
this
making
line,
sure
yeah.
no one turns that
He has to
corner.
respect it,
Stun,
eventually.
stun,
By default line,
stun.
though.
I
Okay.
was going to say the stun nerf kind of,
Takes him
or
a
buff
little longer
comes
to
in.
respect it, but he
He's getting
does.
bombarded.
I mean, this is a perfect take here for G2. All that util gets him onto the site. Tripwire, of course.
What a really hard
Treated by
retake this
Jonah,
one
but
is.
there's
Gotta
no
look at Artsin's
opportunity to
ult.
play off that.
And now we have that aforementioned Rolling Thunder.
Yeah,
in the
they can
hands
just
of
delay
Artsin.
so much,
Got
yeah.
that last round to get in, but to counter that, Leaf is going to let this Steel Garden rip.
Okay, that is going to bleed more time off the clock here. MIBR forced further away from the epicenter of the action. All over towards his garage direction. They can still go for
There
it, but
is
it's going to take a
so
lot.
much
Here
time
is the
gone.
Rolling Thunder comes on through the side. G2 barely affected by it though. Jonah's clear of it. Still
G2
loses
handled
out
it
to
so
Asphalt
well.
there, and Leaf is tucked up on logs, finds one. Doesn't expect there to be a second somehow.
Ooh.
And Jedom gets another.
Smoke for the spike.
Still has the missiles right now, and they can't even get it to half MIBR.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Think it's
Trent
just
knows
done
he can
anyway,
give up his
right?
life and
They've got to run.
for the
Yeah,
round.
there's so
That's
much
it. 3
delay.
done save for MIBR. They've got to go.
That's best just gets out of there.
Execution for G2. Perfect use of util, but it was costly in terms of those
I mean, 3
ultimates.
ults used.
Excellent
There's
timing
that,
from
but
Leaf to
yeah,
rip
this was
that
just
Steel
insanely well
Garden.
played from G2.
Rolling Thunder hadn't even come in yet. He just knows he's
Good
going to
understanding
catch
of how
the
important the
majority
round
of
is.
players in that forward position.
Got to
He
win
gets
this,
onto
force them down
logs.
to an eco.
Great decision-making
Saving grace for
from him.
MIBR is they
Gets
save, but someone has to take the
maximum
hit.
value extracted from that ultimate.
Dude, Artsin might just go for a
And from
judge
there,
here.
it
He loves
essentially
a
made this
judge.
retake impossible. Even though the trades were favoring the MIBR team, you could just see based on the time throughout that entire retake attempt that they were doomed. Trent was way out of the way, still had missiles.
Took a lot though, didn't it?
Wait, yeah, someone had enough to buy him? Okay.
Okay, Razorvine.
Didn't they even had
G2 just
even had
stop a
enough
fast push
to
out of A,
okay.
but MIBR really loosely holding this side of the map. They don't set up heavily here. They've been playing a 1-3-1 for so many of these defensive side rounds.
So you have Osbos, he's taking this angle on window so he can allow the other MIBR players to safely
Yeah,
walk down.
and
or
Artsin's
get
been set
swung
into
there,
window.
and they've inserted Artsin so far forward. He can't push further because
They
Artsin
kind of
knows that
locked them
sheer wall
in.
front of him doesn't
Still.
want to trip that right now.
Oh, the people are
Wants
looking at it.
allowing the rest of the team to rotate, favor towards A.
When Valen was in this spot last half, he took a 3K out of the round. Now, they didn't win it, but it was still huge. Trent doesn't give him anything. Artsin hears this. He knows something's coming. There's the one. He'll have to walk away with that one because he's given himself away. And then he reposts that same position.
He went back.
Slightly different, but he's still set up
They
in window.
faked the
Bruno right
jump
now double
sound.
facing Shannon towards long. They should have an opportunity to fight forward right now.
Okay, gate crash cleared. Off the line, there's the flash came in. Valen's able to find
How?
two quick ones off the rip. It's just Aspas
I
here
just
on the
have no
side.
idea how he's
How's
done
the
it.
double face dismantled so quickly by just Valen?
Cortesia can't get in. He's smoked off, and Jonah shuts down the human
Hey,
tornado.
Valen's been
Just
playing
feel
great
the
though.
walls closing in on him. Knew he was getting pushed
Ooh,
from
now
behind.
Artsin
Cortesia
can
gonna
play.
be the hero
Wait, this is
again.
actually
He has been
really, really
phenomenal
doable.
So far on Haven.
Artsin coming forward now. Previously embedded in that mid-window position. Another one for Cortesia was so necessary there. It's down to the young gun Artsin. Second year in Americas. Looking for
Okay,
something.
very, very
Jonah,
nicely
though,
handled from
will
G2.
knock
How has
him
Valen
down.
done
This
this?
is G2 inching closer to this map win.
We've got to see how Valen was able to dismantle that double face setup. Verno and Shannon both going down just to that one man.
He's cooking this
over
map.
at long.
Oh, the clone. Oh my, that's a nice transfer though.
Disrupted that setup. MIBR were in a fantastic position to win that round, with Artzine getting the pick on Trent, getting the space down mid, just congesting G2 into A, and MIBR is set up for that, and it doesn't even matter. That is crazy that they're able to get away with that round win.
11-7 now. Rolling Thunder at the ready for the attackers. That's G2, of course, 4 rounds in the lead. And this time MIBR really leans so heavily onto the A side of the map with this awkward buy Guardian in the mix for Verno.
Yeah, they haven't opted to go for the full buy here. Just get what you can.
When's
and
he
let's
check
have
the
a
camera?
on the next. If we lose, we can try to play this for OT.
It's good to see
Right now,
Cortesi with a
saw
gun,
two.
but he doesn't play
Didn't see the guy
proactive
window.
role in Garage this round.
Okay,
He
knows
gives
about
up
the guy
site.
window. Know about
MIBR
3.
want to make use of the double initiated util for a retake.
And again, that's an example. Wow, Jaw going
Wait, what?
down because Osbos is taking a risk. Going over the smoke, finds that opening. That could be the pivotal moment where MIBR can get an unlikely round win.
TikTok, Wyatt. Time of the essence here for MIBR.
Leaf is on a reflect through spawn right
Leaf
now.
is
Look at the
Leaf
Astro
is the
set up
one.
backseat. There's
Look
so
at
much
his
to delay.
timing.
He is playing this perfectly. The timings from Leaf here are lovely.
He's going to hit both of them. He's going to have a chance to collapse. This is devastating for MIBR, potentially. Oh, no, not again. Against the Sheriff of all things. Leaf flips it.
Not again.
Now G2 down to two.
Shannon has a
Still
smoke
time.
for this as well. They should be so
Crucial.
fine. Tried to
Arcene
get it
taking
half
down.
though.
Tries
Didn't get
to
it half.
There's no time.
Cortesia is going to tank the ult. Got it half.
Earned by Trent and will shut down the defuse attempt. Cortesia falls and G2
Oh my
trying to
god,
finish
it's
the
close.
job.
He just got it.
Shannon with 3 for the round.
Could have
And
that was like how
MIBR
every
on a
round
likely
was on
round
Poe
with
for a
an
little
awkward
bit.
bye. Stay in the game.
Just too many players to deal with. Despite that, Util tsunami coming through from G2
This is
with the
intense, man.
Armageddon. Missiles prior just doesn't matter.
What happened to Leaf from that reflank?
That was a disastrous moment. This is where Aspas opens things
Yeah,
up.
that was
That initial kill.
Dude, that
Leaf,
kill.
two
So many
players
important kills in this.
susceptible to that flank completely.
Even that's important probably.
Cannot
Look at the
capitalize.
HP,
He
one more
played
bullet.
that round, those timings so well, but when it comes down to the gun duel moments, again, he has been really hit or miss today. When he's hitting, he is hitting, but he has had some crucial misses.
The
too.
rounds have been so close that it forces them down to an eco. And Aspas
It's
is
brutal.
Aspas is in trouble.
Has to get out of there.
The tail, the oh,
Clicks, Aspas, you can't
oh,
be
he's a
serious.
lunatic.
That's 2 with the classic. Aspas
4 bullets.
Dude,
Verno's
That is a
reactive
devious recommit with the classic.
stun was unbelievable.
Cleans Leaf up, and Jonah P is the last one standing. What a messy round.
Verno's stun hit like 4 in the
buddy.
smoke. And then
There
Aspas
it
pushed
is.
forward
Turnover
with it.
3 and MIBR still in this.
Crazy
still
play
fighting.
with that little
That
duo
is
of Aspas
stunning
and Verno.
fearless. Definitely a moment where he's just
Dude, the decision making to walk back was so awesome.
By re-pushing down with the classic. This man's got the AWP. At G2, why would they expect this? It is a madman play to make.
It is giving Valen on Pearl pushing up with a stinger.
There was one specific timing, one specific second that he could try to go for that. Takes it. Fearless.
Deep breaths. Into round 21.
Aspas.
Rifles here for G2 still, and Aspas. Fool me once,
Yeah.
shame on.
Yeah, feeling it after the round before
Maybe
maybe.
overheating just a bit off the confidence from that prior round. Wants to take that initial shot, dash away, but G2 too swift on the kill.
Many such
I don't know if it was
cases
in
the past.
reaction,
It's not
but
the first, won't be the last.
Clemson
And
set
there's an
himself
op
over
drop, though,
towards C
whichever
as
way
they do an
you
A
slice it.
default.
Now if they go for this execute over towards A, you can see the breach Tejo defensively on that side of the map. Could certainly imagine a situation where Artson wants to rip a fault line and then you have the Armageddon after that to find that pick, bring it back to a 4v4 on a spike tap.
The peak for the smoke, yeah, it rarely
that A
pays
site
off
is
these days. Unless you're like a
right there.
neon and you're over towards
G2
here,
start to make their way
like
up
really
here.
early
God,
on and you've done a
What a
stun.
game this has been.
I just-
Okay, all the util, of course.
just
Pleasantries
doesn't-
exchange, but no one there to receive
Just
them.
doesn't work anymore, that
It's
peak.
going to be full retake for this MIBR squad, who do have Armageddon to work with.
MIBR exercising some caution from ripping that too early. They want to slow
TP
things
over the
down.
wall.
Enemy is so far away. Could be a very precarious situation on
And
the flank. It's Leaf again, tries to find his reflank.
we got,
TP in
we got a luck on a luck, and
There
it's
is that
kind of
option.
who does more. And
For
at
late
the
lurks, looking to
moment,
catch someone out
oh
here.
wait,
I mean, hell, he could
Cortesia
TP
is looking
spot
for it.
someone out and then Armageddon them.
That is true. Cortesia deals with Leap. That's the threat from Link now, trying to get back into the side of Shedham, getting activated, got the player over towards A long. It's Trent and Valen, 2v2 all of a sudden. Time, though, again of the essence. Neural Theft activated, MIBR with all
This
the cards, and
guy's
there's Cortesia with
unreal.
another one. Trent has to save this, once more with the
Another
Storm
time.
util. Listen out, there's not enough time. G2 barely outlast MIBR.
And oft is the case in this meta. Time is your worst enemy. Trent, passive, just waiting with the missiles, waiting for that moment where he knows that he can win that out in the clutch by simply staying alive. They read Leaf's flank. Shannon catches the
yeah,
timing
Tay
on
really
Jonah.
needs enough, man.
Cortesia continues
It just-
to play at a very high level. This is one of the best
There-
series
there's so many
times.
so many times where it's like
You think you'll mention
intense,
that
and then
Shannon
it's just like,
a little
oh
slow
man.
on this late wrap. It was
You can point and
possibly
click
not
like a
quite
brim
enough
smoke
time in
and
a
just
very
stop
close round still.
the
Timeout,
defuse, delay
of
for
course,
4
has to be called
seconds.
here as we are on map point. MIBR 9 rounds respectable. But again, for the kind of game that Cortesia has been able to put out here, they've got to hope for more. And this is Frod's last chance to get them shipshape.
Aspas is going to have the cash to buy into an operator again, so certainly looking for him to do that. I mean, we've been speaking about the ults that they have. That man Verno, who's on the Tejo, has still got the Armageddon in his hands. G2 are on the precipice.
What do you think they should do? At this point, you just got to up the regen. Like you should be able to. You have to make the decision of choosing: do I use it in the exec or can I have it in the after plant? We can't have XX plant and then be the last player alive and have it. It's really, really dumb. So it needs to be like 55 seconds, 50 seconds recharge. I want to say 55 just purely because
incredible moments.
Anything else lower than that just is annoying. Like you want to have because the agent has no thought behind it in terms of when you're playing it. Like you want to try and introduce some kind of thought instead of just, oh, I got them up again. Let's spam the util 3 times in a round. Okay, 3 chances.
Time to drift. Of course, Jorgma gets ahead of this onto the C site, trying to pave the way for G2 to set up shop for a post-plant scenario. Cortesia, unsurprisingly, in his natural habitat of Garage.
He has been a brick wall in Garage. Round after round, Plant comes through. Still, Armageddon for the retake.
It's a hard retake. Let's see what they got. Oh, it's that same thing as it's delay here.
So much so that he's affected by
what does he do? Like tail ult close, maybe? Oh, what the hell?
Arzin can't get into the site though. There's a razor
no.
slow MIBR down.
Got it. Mate, no, you got your ult. Don't. Wait, what? Mate, MIBR are lunatics, but they hit so many shots. They hit so many shots. The team is really stacked.
And I've said it many times this game. Still in this.
That is a clinical retake.
Yeah, they are still in this.
Frustrated that he's the victim
3 down
of
to
a
2.
sickening timing that peek through the wall from Artzin, which gets him. I mean, what the hell? He didn't even see him, man. He wasn't even on his screen.
What do you make of that one?
Insane, but this second shot. Oh my
Ooh.
God, Aspas looks
Nice.
ridiculous with the operator.
That is a Gachi base moment.
Not like that really needs to be said. That has been the case for.
Yeah, I saw the button get pressed. Getting involved.
Aspas has just been lethal with that weapon.
I'm just putting it out there. That money is not.
What's my thoughts on all the pros saying there's too much util right now? There is too much util, but it's just Teo.
That's despite getting the plant too. Yes. They're going to have a
like it is. Well, honestly, it might be deadlock as well now. Because they kind of doubled down with the deadlock.
Give me extra innings yet again. Frustration. Yeah, frustration has to be starting to mount here for G2. A really respectable start. I mean, like the 7 defense side rounds looked quite good, and that's the kind of round where they really just pave the way. They make use of the.
At least with deadlock, you have to use.
It's a big investment of ultimates
use a
set up what should have been.
Use a lineup.
Straightforward, nominal round for G2. It all goes horribly wrong.
Vice? Yeah, Vice is for sure overpowered as well at the moment.
Out of the timeout from Josh RT.
It's like I'm saying, we're in a rough spot where you got like 4 or 5 agents that you kind of. They don't all work together, but you kind of got to use at least a few of them. And life just becomes easy. Force them down to an eco. And let's think. Let's just go off the fact. Well, let's go off the assumption that they're going to lose this. They'll have Breach ult, they'll have Vice ult, and that's it. Artzin will probably get Breach ult.
Okay, a lot of util over towards Garage here, but it's 2 players actually that can post up here for MIBR. Verno patiently just steps back. I
think agent bans will help. Agent bans ruins a lot of team prep. It will look a little bit like ranked if we start banning too many agents. I would rather the game just is balanced than as having to ban stuff because they can't balance it. Like it feels like such a lazy fix if we do that. Does it not? It is relatively fun and they probably will add it into the game at one point, but it changes the dynamic of practice and team play so much. Especially practice. Like practicing for the game when you know the bans are in changes everything.
Rolling Thunder could be big in a pinch. No dangerous days here. Special delivery buys him some time, some space. He gets out of Garage, gets just out of the hallway onto C. But here comes G2 hot on his heels. They're not looking to waste any time now. We're down to 33 seconds. Jorgamo gets taken down. Remember,
Yeah, there's too
all
many people
goodbye
back
for
at
G2.
site
They
here.
don't have much to work
There's a
with.
small world where
When they get
Jonah
to the
P kills
site,
everyone with a
Still
classic.
looking for that plant.
That's like the only hope.
Okay, trying some salvos out. Tries to go for it. Shenum does get brought down. And
I think
it's
he
all
had to
on
play
Jonah.
early, but
MIBR
I get it.
indeed should be able to convert on a crucial previous round to get themselves within striking
I
distance
didn't
of
get it.
overtime on Haven.
He desperately wants to get that rifle. I mean, nice little dink, but ultimately not
Okay,
going
3
to matter.
chances,
I love how
down
Verno
to
played
one
that
last
round, able
chance.
to fire off that special delivery to delay G2, who wanted to just run him down with the stingers. Gets out backside.
This would be hard to stay consistent as a team, so I mean, you'd have to practice so differently.
Together, ready to anchor
And
this
then I
as
feel
a
like
unit.
playing ranked becomes,
It is
I don't say more important than team
so
play, but it becomes a lot more important.
to feel that Verno would look so comfortable and have so much chemistry with this Brazilian team. But it is the case. He is flowing on this squad right now.
And here it is, the definitive round
Okay,
potentially
lot of
this
ults.
series. MIBR
Lot of
with a chance
ults.
to take us to overtime.
Aspas wanted to send it over towards shore. We got salvos into Fawns. Yeah, they do not want to let him get that angle. And then I imagine we're not going to face this and we're going to drone. I think Aspas might get wrecked here. It's a really good idea to back out of here because I think he would have just got overwhelmed so heavy. They find out that the op's here, now what?
Now maybe post up over towards
Ult goes in.
Oh
Oh my god.
Off the site. Oh, Jake just gets away inside
He
that
just
cloud
got out
burst.
of there.
Now
But they have
for
breach ult
retake
to
here, has be set
retake
up
on
by
this one.
MIBR. It's all
Leaf
G2 over this
can
A
still
side.
very heavy though.
Another Rolling Thunder has been built up by Art. Steel Garden coming through now as
Yeah,
well.
this is okay.
Joiner on the side, forced back,
MIBR
Aspas
did a
doesn't
little bit of
need his
util.
primary
I say a
weapon
little bit
right
of
now.
util,
Blade
good
Storm
amount
active,
in terms
and
of
he
stun,
sees golden
omen flash
opportunity
to
plant the cherry
to
from the head of Leaf.
get the
No connection.
to
And
get
here
the
is that Rolling Thunder
Vice ult
rising
out of
up
there.
forward in, but there is a grab well that will slow him up somewhat. Caught out. Here's G2 now. Verno trying to get in the clear.
Dude,
Good
that-
for one, but there's so much more to do.
They didn't
Too
know
much
about
to
double
ask, in
under.
fact.
Dude,
Jenna
Jorgamo
finds
did a
himself
lot
alone in
here.
heaven. A very exposed position.
I think Aspas had a
And
chance.
G2 can bide their time. Return to their old patient tricks. Jenna attempts a little fake TP, caught out though by the Nova
Yeah,
Pulse.
I'm not sure he meant
And
to
this
fake
is a
it really.
formality, folks.
Okay, dude, two good maps at the moment though. Two good and close
G2
maps.
are just a cut above on their
We got a
map.
Saint
That was
coming
the
up
first time we've
as the
seen
decider.
MIBR on Haven.